Even Nolan's excited. You could hear him.
I know.
Hello, Gun Nation.
What's up, everybody?
Hello.
Hey, what's up?
Hello, everyone.
Well, good evening, everybody. Welcome to another chat this evening, Wednesday night chat. We've got a special guest, Nolan from Lock and Load Lifestyle. Having him back again, always a blast to have him around and talk all things guns. I know we've got a lot to talk about tonight. I think we'll probably be talking a little bit about some new releases this year that we're starting to hear about and are starting to trickle to the market. And probably talk a little bit more about the Glock 19X and some thoughts we've been having about that since more people are starting to get their hands on those a little bit. And then whatever else comes to mind. So who wants to kick it off tonight, guys?
Why don't we let our special guest kick it off?
Oh, man. What do you guys want to talk about? I have no idea.
Great. Way to drop the ball, Proby.
I know. Anybody out there in the chat had any questions? I guess I will.
Well, I'll tell you what. I'll help you out. I'll start you off, Nolan. You know, you put out that secondary video on the 19X, basically trying to explain yourself. You know, kind of just wondering, you know, what are your thoughts overall about the reactions of people on, you know, you talking about a gun that you may not want because of certain reasons? Like, what do you think about that overall?
You know, I knew I was going to get some backlash for that. I knew I would, just because if you talk bad about Glock on YouTube, you're going to get hate. It doesn't matter if you have 10 of them and you still talk bad about them, you're going to get hate. But I didn't expect that much, really, to be honest with you. I mean, I still have, like, we've been talking so far. I've had 3 comments roll in on people saying that, how do you not understand this? It's a military gun and all this stuff. And I guess I should have been a little more thorough when I was talking about the gun. I should have said, hey, I know it's a military gun or whatever, but I didn't. And I think that's where a lot of the confusion was coming from. And that's why I wanted to make that second video, so people knew that I understood that. But I guess, I don't know, it is what it is. I guess if you say bad about something, you're going to get backlash, especially a Glock.
You know, with a lot of the comments that I had seen and on yours and on mine, one of the things that people kept, I guess, reminding us of was that this was not a carry gun technically for the concealed people out there. This was more of a duty gun. And I kind of chuckled at that because I'll be honest, probably 95% of the people who are buying that gun are not law enforcement or military. They're just, you know, Glock lovers. And then when I saw some comments made by our buddy KS over here, I almost wanted to reach through the screen and slap him, because he was saying, it's a collector's gun. And my whole thing is, dude, if you're collecting a Glock, you know, that's pretty sad, guys. I'm not going to lie. Go collect something that's $1,200. That's priceless, that you throw in your safe and leave it there. But a Glock is not meant to sit in a safe. It's meant to be shot. It's meant to be thrown around because it's a damn Glock.
So you know, not all $1,200 guns are worth collecting. We'll talk about that later. But anyways, and alluding to Uncharted Truckers question, so we'll talk about that more. But no, I maintain that the Glock 19X is not one that I'm interested in. I've had a lot of Glocks over the years, and to me, it's not very special. I mean, it's kind of cool looking. I kind of get it from a Glock fan standpoint, I suppose, but from a collection standpoint, there are probably going to be those that do. Now, some people, when I've said that, have quickly said, no, that is not a good collector's gun for 2 reasons. One, it doesn't have the safety, so it really is not the M version, so it's not very special. But then I had another guy, and I had a big laugh about this, and I don't remember whose video it was on. It might have been on Nolan, it might have been on yours, or it might have been on Honest Outlaws. A guy said that the Glock 19X is a mass-produced guns, and mass-produced guns are never collector guns. And I immediately responded to him, and I said, World War I, World War II, Colt 45. I believe there's a pretty big collector's market for that out there. I don't think I heard back from him at that point in time. But, you know, mass-produced guns can absolutely be collector's items. Usually it takes a long time. But I can see the interest for the Glock 19X for certain people, but from a practicality standpoint, it's hard to make an argument for it.
Now, I wonder if there's anybody out there in the in the chat in law enforcement. I was curious if law enforcement officers, obviously, are able to actually carry that gun because of the FDE color or whatever color the hell that is. you know, because, you know, certain departments are very strict with what they allow their people to carry. And I'm just curious, if they went in and purchased that Glock 19X, would they actually be allowed to be carrying that with them? I thought was a little bit curious about that.
Yeah, I never thought about that.
Yeah, I don't know if they can. I don't know if they can or not. Yeah, but you know, but I mean, then again, you know, people buy, you know, for themselves. Joke around about Glock, y'all know. I mean, I've had them in the past. I really just joke with people. I don't mean anything by in seriousness, but you know, that's why there's 31 flavors of ice cream. Everybody's going to like something different. So if they want to buy it and collect it, buy it and collect it. It's your money. You know, do what you want to do. I don't care.
Guys, we also have confirmation. Pop said Desert Cops can carry those.
That's true.
So. Thank you, Desert Cops. We appreciate you.
Hey, well, I was going to say, we kind of beat that 19X, but let's get to the 365.
Yes, let's.
Yeah, I mean, you know, we've had some people asking about them. I've already seen pre-orders on, what is it, Sportsman's Outdoor for like what did I say? It was $545 or something like that. But I've only seen pre-orders.
Overpriced.
Yeah, well, I mean, you know, it's going to be a new release gun. It's going to be a hot seller. People are going to be buying it like crazy. I'm just telling you.
Yeah, but people were, you know, excited to be buying a Shield 2.0 when it came out, and they were nowhere near that price point. You know,
yeah,
so
but also they did.
Are we getting caught up in this nonsense of always having to get the newest best thing? You know, because honestly, I looked at, I like it. I mean, it's a very nice gun, but then I'm saying to myself, for that price, you could get a really nice M&P 2.0, maybe a Glock 43, you know, and I know it's new. I know everybody's excited about it, but do you really want to go out and burn $500 on that when right now you can go find a Shield 2.0 for under $400 in some places?
Yeah. Well, people want the 10-round capacity, you know, potentially 12 rounds, or from what I understand, someone said, or I guess there's a new box opening. And when I listened to Sig, they said it was going to come with a flat base plate 10-round and then a finger extension 10-round. And then a 12-round would be optional.
Right.
Yeah.
But this box opening guy said that he got a 12-round in his box also. I don't know if it's.
He got that from Sig. He's not the average consumer. He's actually a broadcaster.
Okay.
So it is an option. I mean, Sig even says it on the website.
Yeah, and that's what I thought too. But I mean, I think it's good. You know, it's something new. It's something different. You know, as far as a small gun carrying 10, I mean, you can put a +2 on your shield, and you know mine holds 10 +1. But you know, this thing is smaller than even my shield as far as length and height, and it's shorter than the 43 and shorter than the shield in the slide. And I'm just wondering, or in the barrel, I'm just wondering if it's going to be a snappy little dog, you know, because the average person probably doesn't have gorilla fingers like me or gorilla hands. And also, you know, when I hold my hold my shield like this with my weak thumb down the slide, I'm telling you, on my shield, it's literally, my thumb is almost at the end of the barrel. So if this thing is shorter than the shield, hell, I might blow my left thumb off shooting that 365. So I'm not going to buy it. I want to put my hands on it in a store where I can physically try it,
right,
and see if it would even work for me. And not that I have to have it. I don't, you know. But
okay. So Nolan, what do you think?
I guess I like the idea of it. I guess I'll be the first to say the 320 line, I've kind of moved away from it. Don't really care too much for it. You know, I got my 320. I really liked it at first, had it for a few months, and then it kind of died off and didn't really care much for it. So I guess I'm not overly excited personally to buy it. I do like the idea of it. I do like the size of it. I think it's awesome that they're packing 10 to 12 rounds in it, but I don't think I'll go out and buy one.
You know, I wonder if it would have been more of an interest if they would have released it more towards spring, maybe summer. You know what I mean? When people are going to be looking for single stacks to carry. You know, for me right now, because it's like 2 degrees out, I'm not carrying a single stack anytime soon, you know, and I don't have any anymore. You know, all of mine are gone.
Yeah.
So for me, like, even, you know, right now I have no interest in it because I'm not going to carry it right now. But in the summertime, springtime, I might look around and see what else is out there. I don't think it's top of my list, to be honest with you. I think for me, honestly, I like the old Shield. I do. I like the old Shield better than the new one, just for carrying purposes because of the grip texture. That's all. You know, technically it's the same gun, you know, but I don't know. For me, it's not a big deal right now. It's just not. I think it's maybe bad timing at this point for me.
Yeah, if I was going to buy another single stack right now, it'd definitely be a Shield over that one.
Oh, Shield's a great gun, man. You can't go wrong with the Shield for sure. Now, a couple of things. There are a couple of questions that kind of bleed off of this. Now, I will say for me, I'm very much looking forward to it. I'm excited to get my hands on it and try it because I like the SIGs quite a bit, and I'm interested in a double stack, single stack firearm, basically a single stack size with a double stack magazine capacity. Now, Steve R asked a question: why do you guys like single stack 9mm? And that's a great question. A lot of people say, you know, you want more capacity, get a bigger gun, and most people can carry it. But what is the allure to a single stack firearm for most people?
Go ahead, Nolan.
I carry the Glock 43 quite a bit, mainly just because it's convenient. It's small, it's lightweight, it just more or less disappears when you're carrying it. You can wear pretty much any clothing that you want to, and it's just comfortable to carry in most situations. That's why I like them.
And what do you guys think?
I personally, right now, I don't find a use for them because I live in a communist state and we're mag restricted anyway. So for me, it doesn't make a point. For me, there's no point. I would rather just carry a small compact. You know, like I said, it all depends how you dress too. I mean, you know, this is the question of the year is, well, do you dress around your gun or do you not? And even in the summertime, I dress around whatever I carry. So, you know, it wouldn't surprise you if I was carrying a Phantom during the summertime.
Yeah.
You know, and honestly, I feel more comfortable carrying a bigger gun. Now, if I needed a backup, absolutely. If I wanted to carry two, then yes, I would carry a single stack with a compact or even with something like this. But, you know, for me, I'm not a huge fan of single stacks. I don't particularly shoot them that great. And I don't personally, or I would not personally rely on them as my first line of defense. But that's just me.
I mean, I like a single stack too. I use it as a backup gun. You know, I've carried you know, especially if I can wear a jacket, I've carried an outside waistband holster at the 3 o'clock. And then I've carried literally my shield at the 4:30. And then I have a left-hand holster for my shield also as a backup. I mean, I think that they're great guns. And sometimes, like, if you just want to run to the store real quick, I'll just grab the Shield 9mm or the Shield 45, throw it in my, you know, pants and go, or even on athletic shorts or something like that, because, you know, you don't necessarily need a belt to hold up a lot of weight. I mean, I still have a belt, but, you know, it's a lighter belt. But you know, I'm definitely a capacity person because of where I travel and how I travel. I definitely like capacity.
Okay. And you guys know I like them. I think there's a comfort level and a convenience level that's fantastic, more than a lot of other firearms out there. Yeah, you're sacrificing capacity, but it's always a trade-off. You know, you get a bigger gun and you might be sacrificing some comfort to get more capacity versus the other way around. So I'm a big fan of those and carry a single stack most of the time. I've been carrying the 2.0 compact a fair amount over the last maybe 2-3 months or so, but I like the single stacks a lot. Now, there was another question out there also related to this from my buddy Mark. We've been talking quite a bit. And he was talking about ammo, good self-defense ammo, especially for smaller guns like single stacks. And what are some good options, some good choices out there?
Go ahead, Nolan.
I guess for me, I carry, I guess a lot of the Sig 124 or the HST 124s, mainly because that's what I can get at my local gun shop. And I've shot them in single stacks all the way up to full-size guns, and I've always had good luck with them. So normally Sig 124s or HST 124s when I can find them.
Yeah.
But I've had good luck with them in small or big guns.
Yeah.
Nice.
Go ahead, 17.
Whatever is on sale. You know, my preference is the HST also, but I don't really care. If it's a hollow point and it'll go out of a barrel really fast, that's what I'm buying.
Nice.
Yeah. I mean, I'm a big HST fan. You know, I prefer the 124. You know, I want a little more speed. You know, I kind of, you know, and I've heard different arguments and stuff, but I kind of like a 124 grain versus a 147 because it's a lighter bullet, which usually, and if you look at the velocity statistics on the back, you're going to get a little, more velocity with the 124. But that's just my preference. Have I shot other 124 grains? Yes. Would I carry them? Probably, depending on the gun.
Now, let me ask you guys this. Do you think it really matters in the grand scheme of things? I mean, if you take a steel case 9mm and you shoot it out of your gun and it hits somebody, do you think they're going to look down and say, ha, 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 that wasn't a hollow point? No. I mean, let's be honest. I mean, it's like, I think everybody, again, I think everyone gets caught up on this, and for the lack of a better term, bullshit about, I got to have this ammo or that ammo. You know what? Whatever you can go and afford to buy it. Because I guarantee you, if you have to use it and it hits somebody, it's going to hurt them. Period. That's it. Whether it's a hollow point, whether it's, full metal jacket, I don't care. Just get something that you can afford and that it'll go out of that barrel every time you pull the trigger, except for Winchester White Box.
So I'm going to add on to that just a little bit, though. I 100% agree with you. Buy what you buy, but make sure it goes bang out of the gun. And that's, making sure you take your gun to the range. Test some ammo through it. If you're going to do obviously range ammo is range ammo. You dump however many hundreds of rounds through it, you're going to know or not know if it works at the range, hopefully. But for self-defense ammo, if you choose to get specific self-defense ammo, buy a couple, 2-3 boxes at least, and make sure that they function through the gun. I mean, I think that's really important. And I say that because I'm a fan of single stack firearms, and for a long time I used Hornady critical defense. And I found with some small firearms, even like Glock 43s, they were pretty finicky. And they did not like Hornady. And that was one of the few rounds that I had a lot of trouble with. So I switched everything out. And if I have any Hornady left, I just go to the range and plink with that anymore because I'm kind of done with it. But otherwise, I think you're absolutely right.
I mean, if let's say, for example, Pops put some ammo out and he called it Pops ammo, I'm buying Pops ammo, period. Yeah. And we all know it sucks, but, at the same time.
No, and I mean, I can understand all that. We did have a question in here, of course, I guess, let's see here. It was hollow point, like kind of versus a ball round. What would you carry in your gun? Now, in a 9mm, I'm only going to carry a hollow point. But in a 380, I'm carrying a ball round. I don't care what time of season it is, just due to the penetration. I want the penetration of the full metal jacket in a 380, personally.
Yeah. Hey, real quickly, I want to stop everybody for just a moment for a couple of things. First, I think this is the first time we've been over 100 on the chat, so that's pretty freaking cool.
We know that's Nolan's fault.
We owe that to Nolan. He's putting up with us tonight, and probably will never want to come back. But we always appreciate him, and always appreciate each and every one of you guys. And also, there are a ton of awesome channels out there tonight participating in the chat. Be sure to check all those guys out and subscribe to those channels. So, just our little public service announcement for the evening.
Now, I did see Mateo a while ago. He actually mentioned the PPQ subcompact that's going to be coming out, and I'm pretty excited for it. I saw some pictures online. I tried to find where I found that picture for you two guys, and that would be KS and Big Johnson, but I couldn't find it again. And it's small. I mean, the grip is tiny on this thing. It's ridiculously tiny.
Is it smaller than the SK, the VP9 SK?
It's probably in the same ballpark. I think it's going to be like a VP9 SK because let's face it, the VP9 is like a PPQ.
Right.
I mean, does it mean that I won't buy it? No, I'm going to buy it, of course, because it's a Walther. But I'll be interested to see how that thing shoots because, we all know that the PPQ is probably one of the snappier 9s that's out there. So I'd be interested to see how this thing is going to shoot. So I already put some feelers out with my people in Walther to see if maybe I can get my hands on one early. But they laughed at me and said, "Don't bother us." So, we'll see how that goes. But
they're like, "No, you changed to Steyr now."
No, you know what? I'm not going to look. Steyrs are awesome. The S9 is a great subcompact. So nice stuff. But yeah, I think the PPQ will be pretty cool to see when it comes out. Be interested to see it.
Well, and we've had some other releases that have come out already pre-SHOT Show, which is pretty exciting, like a couple of Rugers. I know they've announced 3. They've got the Security 9, the whatever it is, the EC9 or something like that. It's kind of that I guess single stack 9, but more economical version, and then the PC carbine as well, which I don't think is actually out on the market yet. We've seen some reviews, but I don't think it's available to the general public, but it's on its way. And I got to say, and you guys know I've got the Security 9 and video coming out this weekend. I've been really impressed. The trigger's not the best out there, but for the money, Ruger's doing a smart play, I think. I really do.
Yeah, I put my hands on, I know that you had got the Security 9. I put my hands on it yesterday at a gun store, and I thought it was a really nice grip. When I first grabbed it, I thought the grip was kind of narrow compared to the top of the slide, but I think it might be kind of an optical illusion, because once I grabbed it, I was like, man, this thing feels pretty nice. Yeah, rack the slide. Yeah, there you go. Okay. Yeah, I guess it just, it looks good. Yeah, I racked the slide and everything, and I thought, man, this is a pretty nice gun. Check the trigger, and you're right, it does have a really long reset and stuff, but it's not a bad pistol. Shoot, under $300. I mean, shoot, that's a good deal.
Yeah, for the price, it's tough to beat. I had kind of one criticism. I don't want to give away everything from the video, but overall, I mean, for the money and sub $300, that's a hell of a bang for your buck.
Mm-hmm. Now, does yours have the safety or no safety?
I think they all have the safety right now.
Okay, because I didn't know if they already had the other ones out.
Now, how's that thing built, though? I mean, is it built like a tank, or is it built like a paper cup? I'm just curious.
It's a good question. It's the glass-filled nylon, which is pretty common for Rugers, from what I understand. But it's a steel slide. I mean, everything else is steel. Now, the only thing is the guide rails are also glass-filled nylon, but they are all the way across. So I think this probably isn't a 100,000 round gun.
Right.
But it certainly is something that you could take to the range and you could train with and you could use for 10, 15, 20, 25,000 rounds, whatever. And I don't think it's going to break down. I truly don't.
You said the rails on that are polymer?
Yeah, they failed the scratch test, and I couldn't find anywhere where anything mentioned that they were steel. I mean, I'm fairly certain they're polymer, but again, they stretch almost the entirety of the frame. Almost. They stop about an inch before the end of the frame. So they're pretty robust.
Huh.
Now I wonder, do you guys know of any other guns that are like that, where they have plastic or polymer rails?
I think some other Rugers do, actually.
Really?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I think some of like their LCP, I think that's polymer. Somebody correct me in the comments if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, it's an appealing price, but not for me. Sorry.
Yeah. No, I get it.
I'll save extra money and get something else.
I think a lot of people will make it like
because honestly, sorry, KS, I cut you off like 3 times. My bad.
No, sorry. I was just going to say, I think a lot of people will make it a truck gun or something like that, because for the price, why not? You could throw it in the truck and forget about it.
Because I know Firearm Guy was mentioning like 295, 275 lowest he's seen it. Like I've seen like M&P 2.0 compacts that are maybe $150 more. So do you think it would be worth someone to just save extra money for another month and then just dump it on that compact?
Actually, the compact's $100 more. I mean, like you said, depending on what you pay for it.
Right.
Nolan, what do you think?
I guess for the price, I don't have an issue with it. I wouldn't pay Glock or M&P money for it, but I think my gun shop got one in. I think they were charging $289 for it, and I honestly still might pick one up to try it out. I guess it doesn't bother me that much. I have the M&Ps, the Glocks, and stuff like that I would use for more high round count stuff, but I would like to have the Security 9 for, like you guys said, like a truck gun or something. I wouldn't feel bad about doing that.
Mm.
Yeah, Bald says the P07 Duty has plastic rails.
I didn't know that.
P07 Duty, the original one?
That's what he said. He has the older one. That's what he's saying. I didn't know it had full polymer rails. I thought it had the little metal nubs sticking out of it, but I don't know. I don't have a Duty on it.
I had a Duty, and I can't remember, but I'm pretty sure they weren't. But if he's got one and he's looking at it, he knows more than I do.
Yeah.
Shooter Industries just said it's funny how quick the mood changed when we all learned that it had plastic rails. That's pretty good. Polymer's come a long way.
No, Polymer's pretty stout. So
it's pretty strong. And when if they were little teeny rails that were made of polymer, I would have a considerable concern with that, and I probably wouldn't have bought it. But I mean, these are pretty stout, and you'll see on the video this weekend. There's a lot of railing there, and it could be that I'm wrong that there's really steel inside maybe the plastic. I don't know, but it really does look like a plastic material all the way around.
And didn't that Polymer 80, that Glock thing everybody was cutting and building, didn't it have the original one? Didn't it only have polymer rails? And then they came out with the 2.0 one, and then it had the metal. Yeah. So, and I don't know if that was because it was failing or not. I never built one or messed with one, so I'm not sure.
I do believe it did.
Bald said he's too lazy to get up and check, but he's pretty sure.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure too.
Oh, Baldy said it? Then he's full of crap. He doesn't know what he's talking about. Only thing he knows what he's talking about is grand power. That's it. He doesn't know anything. Grand power. He like holds his ring up, goes, grand power. Lightning bolt comes down.
Right.
Yeah, and I was telling KS this. I think what Ruger should do, and it'll probably be a home run, is take the new Security 9 and like have a big box, put the Security 9 and the LCP2 in the same box, and offer an additional mag and do kind of like a home defense carry package. And I think that would probably sell pretty well, to a consumer that maybe already owns other Rugers or, something like that, or maybe has an LCP. And you could also do with that, like KS was saying, you could do it with a carbine also, the new carbine.
Yeah, no, that's right. And think about it. Let's say you've got $500 to spend. Maybe that's your budget on a gun. You could spend the $500 on one gun and be done with it, but then you don't have anything else. Or you could buy a less expensive gun and have some money left over for ammo and range time and that sort of thing. And I mean, obviously, Tom Sullivan, you're my idol. Hey, Tom Sullivan, thanks for the awesome donation to the channel, man. Really appreciate that.
Nice.
He said, sold him on the Glock 19C. Excellent choice, my friend. That's awesome. I'm glad you're going to have a really good time with that gun. That's a lot of fun. Invest in some cleaning gear because it does get pretty dirty. And it is a fantastic gun. Thanks very much. But yeah.
By the way, KS, that's going to Nolan's salary for tonight.
That is. I'm writing a check right now. But I mean, it's nice to have a little bit of money left over to buy some ammo and go to the range and be able to get some rounds down range right off the bat and maybe not spend as much money, or at least I'm kind of imagining that's how some people might look at that. So I think that's kind of cool.
Yeah. Real quick, just to get all our opinions, because I want to do this for Triple C. He was working late. He does want our honest opinion about the 365. So just, would you buy it or not? Yes or no? Go.
I probably will not.
Okay. KS?
Oh, I absolutely am. Yes. It's already on order.
Okay. 17?
I am not. I'd get a shield first.
Okay. I have a shield, but I am going to wait till it hits the gun store and put my hands on it and then make my opinion then. Because I got to make sure I don't blow my thumb off with the link.
That makes sense.
We do have a good question. Speaking of cleaning, what should we use to clean the gun? Now, we only are going to tell you what we use, but what should you use to clean the gun? Nolan, go ahead.
Just any gun?
Well, just what do you use to clean your pistols?
Oh, okay. Ballistol.
Okay.
I use it to clean pistols, rifles. I clean everything with it.
Okay.
Absolutely love it. It's just a CLP and works really well for me.
Yep. Okay. What about you, KS?
Well, you guys know I've been using the Battleborn HP Pro oil, and that stuff seems to be doing pretty well so far, but I've been a long-standing fan of Wilson Combat. Their solvent is fantastic. I mean, it really cleans everything up right away. You don't have to use very much of it, and I like their universal oil as well. So But I'm not necessarily a brand snob of cleaning solutions. However, I was very disappointed in the Battleborn solvent, whatever it is. That stuff was basically water in a can. But there are a lot of good options out there.
What about you, 17?
I used to use Frog Lube, and I really liked that quite a bit. And then I switched to this Battleborn HP Pro or whatever it's called.
Yeah.
I like it. I've been thinking recently that I may be going back to Frog Lube. I like it better. You know, I just like it. I think it keeps the gun clean, gives it a nice clean look, and wiping it down after you shoot 200-300 rounds takes everything off. I mean, I think it's a pretty solid thing, you know, and I've never had issues running anything with it. Cold, hot, you name it.
I use, I have Ballistol, and I've used Ballistol forever, and CLP, and I've been using the Battleborn. They sent me some to try, and I actually really like it, and so I bought a lot more of it. And the solvent seems to be working for me. I just use a toothbrush and some of the solvent, scrub it all down. Works well for me, and I really do like the HP lube. I haven't had any issues with it, even when the gun gets super hot. Still runs really well for me, and take it apart and it's still lubed well. So I've been using that.
Nice. Hey, we have a question out here from Sean Fitzpatrick. I mean, he's actually asked this a couple of times in the chat, and I don't know how familiar you guys are with this, but he wants to know our thoughts on the new Pennsylvania law regarding gun ownership and medical marijuana. What do you think?
You'd have to tell me what the law is. I don't know. I can't comment without.
Basically, if you use medical marijuana, you can't. They'll pull your. You can't have the gun.
Oh well, tough shit. I don't know, man. It's it depends how you look at it, and depends what your belief system is. For me personally, I've never used drugs in my entire life, and I am probably the most anti-drug person that you're going to meet, and that goes back from my background of being a medic on a fire department and working on an engine and running these calls all the time. I ran calls on, kids who OD'd, adults who OD'd, old, rich, black, white, poor. It didn't matter, and everybody says it's just marijuana. Yeah, right. You're thinking of marijuana from like 1963. The HTC that's in marijuana right now is at an all-time high. And it messes people's brains up. And as far as I'm concerned, if you're doing it, the last thing I want in your hand is a gun, period. That's it. It's just like if you were a heavy drinker and you're drinking your ass off and you get into a car, the last thing I want you to do is be driving that car. But that's me. I just don't think drugs and guns match very well.
Yeah.
Nolan, what do you think?
Well, for me, I guess like KS or 17 was saying, drugs and guns definitely don't mix. Do I think there should be laws saying you can't do it? I don't like gun laws, so I would say just use your good judgment and don't do it. But I don't like to see new laws added. But better judgment should say don't do it.
Yeah. The last thing I want is an actual law. I don't like the government in anything that we do. I think it should be up to the person. And like everyone said, if you drink, get behind the wheel and crash. I mean, that could harm someone, and hopefully someone would have enough common sense. If they're stoned, they're not going to start playing around with their gun. I just think it needs to be a best judgment thing. I don't want, it seems like every day they're adding 10 or 15 laws to shit. So, but would I personally do it? No, but that's just me.
Okay. And I don't want to take away the rights of somebody who can operate a firearm and all that kind of stuff. So, I think that they ought to be able to have a firearm. However, I too believe that the two shouldn't mix. So if you're going to be medicating yourself, put the gun down. And that would be the same with that. It's the same with booze. It's the same with anything else. That's why most gun ranges, they've got pretty strict rules about that. I remember a couple of guys came into center fire shooting sports, and they walked by us, and they smelled like pot. And the guys at center fire, this was uncomfortable for them for sure, but they said, "Sorry guys, we can't have you shoot here today." And they may not have been high. They may have been high, but it was too big of a liability, too big of a risk, and something could have happened. And so I don't think it's a good mix. But at the same time, again, I don't want to deny those people the right to own a firearm.
My only, the only thing that, and why I say I don't want the government involved in stuff is, if they get their hand in this and say it passes or they make it a law, then they're going to start looking at every drug that a person has to take. For example, like, soldiers or, just other patients on something. Say you're on a pill because you have to have it. They're going to go, oh, yep, you take that pill, so you can't, you can't carry a gun or can't have a gun. It seems if we open this door, there's going to be other doors that they're going to start knocking on and trying to kick in.
I'm reading a lot of the comments out there, and they're all saying the government, the government, government, government. I'm listening to you guys, and you're saying the same thing. And I think, without being a jerk about this, I think you guys are a little misinformed, and I'm going to explain why. You go back, read a history book, find out exactly what the British did to the Chinese. Find out. It's called the Opium Wars, and find out exactly how they were able to take over China in less than a year. And what they basically did was they exposed the people to drugs. And, they had drugs, they had opium dens, but they basically gave it out to everyone, kids, adults, you name it. So what does it do? It hooks them up right away. Then obviously you have a group of people that are now subservient to the government. And what do they do? Hey, give me my next fix. Okay, we'll give you your next fix, but you got to do exactly what we say. So I mean, everybody out there who's saying the government shouldn't do this, the government shouldn't do that, the government shouldn't be allowing the use of drugs, period. Why? Because if you allow people, I mean, look, California, you got what else? I think Oregon is also Colorado. You have these people out there and they're like, yeah, we're smoking weed, we're happy. Who's actually making out on this?
Yeah.
Who's making out?
It's
actually the government. The government is, because they're bankrolling all this, and they're making the money hand over fist. And what are they leaving behind? They're leaving behind a bunch of zombies. That's what they're leaving behind. And then ultimately these people become subservient to the government because the government gives them what they want.
And also, I mean, I totally agree with you. And like we've talked about in other chats, there is a pill for freaking everything. You have a hangnail. Oh crap, here's a pill for it. Take that and you'll feel better. It's like they're just ramming this medication down people's freaking throats. I mean, some people just need to pull their head out of their ass and learn.
But that's on everything. That's on every even level too, even with kids. If a kid can't pay attention, oh God, they've got ADHD. Let's give them a medication.
Yeah, you can't just feed people medicine and say, oh, they're this or they're that. Because if half the people had to deal with real life and there were no medications, I think they'd buck it up and get it done, or they would just get the hell out of Dodge. I just hate this medication shit. And I'll watch TV, and I know y'all do, for 5 minutes. In 5 minutes, you'll see 5 commercials for shit you can take.
Right.
That's absolutely true.
Well, I know, like, somebody just said something about the opioid crisis in Philly and New Jersey, and I know this has nothing to do with guns whatsoever, but it's true. I mean, it's moved up north. It actually, when I was down south, like 15, almost 20 years ago, seems like that. The opioid crisis was huge in Florida. You know how many people we had ODing on fentanyl, left and right, fentanyl, and it was because, oh, I got to alleviate my back pain or this pain or that pain. And the doctors were just prescribing like it was candy, and now all of a sudden it's hit in the Northeast and everybody's up in arms about it. But this has been going on for years.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's true. It's true. Shall we change directions here?
Yes, we should.
Before we go further down the road. So there was a question, and I promised the guys I wouldn't talk about this for more than a moment or two, but there was a question earlier about Hudson and if they had contacted me or if I'd had any more conversations with Cy Hudson. And for those of you who didn't know, the day that I released the Hudson Problems video, a few hours after that video released, Hudson's team was able to kind of track me down and get in touch with me, and I ended up on the phone with Cy Hudson for, I don't know, 20 minutes or so. He was a very nice guy, and we talked a little bit about the issues, and he was very nice. He was very apologetic. This was a Saturday night right before Nolan's chat, and right before New Year's Eve, so I was very impressed with that. They now have the gun in their possession. I talked to them earlier today, and their gunsmith has looked over it, and now they've given it to their engineers. So I think they've discovered some issues with it. But Scotsman saying a moment or two, listen, pal. But anyway, so I will keep you guys up to date. And the end goal with this, or my goal with this, is to hopefully have them send maybe that gun or another gun back to do a retest on. And it's not one to keep or anything. I'm not that guy, but I would love the opportunity to retest it and tell the second half of the story, because although their customer service was a bit of a failed boat the first time around, they have since upped the game quite a bit. Now, that might be because I put a video out on it. I don't know. That's up to you guys to decide. But hopefully there will be a chance to kind of circle back around on this. So that's where I am with that right now.
Cool. Do you think that you'll get a chance on, I mean, I guess, do you think there might be a chance you might get that gun back?
Yeah, no, I definitely think there's a chance. I think what they're going to do with Frontier Justice is give them a brand new one in lieu of that. So that's pretty cool that at least they're taking care of Frontier. If that's all they do, that's pretty cool, because I didn't want to leave Frontier in a bad place. Now, Frontier looked to me and said, hey, we'll make it a range gun if they fix it. So they didn't necessarily care too much. But I'd like for them to be taken care of, because they've been pretty good to me. So that's cool. But I would sure like the opportunity to retest it. And that video has gotten a fair amount of attention, and I will tell all of you guys it's gotten a fair amount of negative attention as well. I've had to really kind of monitor the comment section a little bit more than I normally would, because a lot of couch commandos have come out on that particular video. So
I imagine anyway. Like Nolan's 19X video.
I'm telling you.
They come from everywhere.
Yeah. So I was going to say, we don't talk about it a lot, and you know, I really have had a lot of questions about it and stuff like that, you know, and we're getting a lot more people that are wanting to know about rifles and ARs and stuff like that. And I'm not an AR expert, never claimed to be, you know, but we happen to have a very notable one here. What do you like for a new person getting into ARs? Do you recommend to buy or build their first AR?
Very first experience, very first gun, I would say buy. That way you can get the fundamentals down. You can feel how it's supposed to work. I guess that if you get one that works, I guess you could get one that doesn't work. But I would say buy a factory gun. That way you got a warranty, you know how it's supposed to work, get familiar with it. And then if you like it, then you can build one.
Okay. And what about, like, is there a certain brand you would recommend buying?
Oh man, there's so many good ones out there. I mean, even like right now, I think the best buy right now is probably the M&P Sport 2.
Yeah.
I think it's under $600, maybe mid $500. Oh, is it really? See, it's even lower now. It'd be hard to beat that gun for a first gun. I think it has a lot to offer.
Yeah, that's what I was going to recommend, because Smith & Wesson has a lifetime warranty on it, so you really can't go wrong with it.
That is correct.
What do you think, 1776, about getting your first AR?
I got no thoughts about it. I have no plans on getting one.
Man, and that sucks, dude, that y'all can't have, or you know, if you get it, you have to pin it.
And they have to have like a, you know, you got to like weld the magazine in and, you know, bend the barrel backwards and all this other crap. It's absurd. Totally absurd.
Yeah, that's crazy.
You know, it's just whatever. Hey, whatever, you know. What
do you think, KS?
As far as build or buy?
Or even like a first AR, or, you know.
My experience with ARs is extraordinarily narrow, so I don't want to mislead people or anything, but from what I understand, and I certainly consider Nolan an expert, and I've heard the same thing from other folks that I consider experts, the Smith & Wesson M&P is a great springboard into the AR world, because you're getting all the things you have to have, and maybe not a lot of things you don't necessarily have to have. I guess that's a good way to look at it, and they're not terribly expensive. But I would buy. I wouldn't build for a first one, and I did. I've owned exactly one AR, and I bought it, and got a pretty good deal on it. So that's my 2 cents.
You know what? Go ahead.
I was going to say, my very first AR was, an M&P 15, and man, that thing worked great. I mean, I didn't have one issue with it, and it was just the plain Jane one. And of course, I put the furniture and did all that kind of stuff, but it was a great AR.
You know what I'd wish they'd start doing is building more of these type of guns that are compliant. And I know they have compliant ARs out there. I know that, but I'm saying ones that actually were a little bit more functional, because, you have to do this crap with the stock. You can't have a pistol grip up here, or you have to cover it. It is ridiculous. So I wish a lot more manufacturers would maybe go back to doing like a kind of like a sporter stock, something like that. I know that like the Aries is out there and they have that, but it'd be nice to see more of a selection in that regards,
Yeah.
Now, I guess I'm not too familiar with the New York laws. Like, can you buy a stripped lower, and can you build it compliant, or do you have to
build it? You can build it compliant, but you have to, the amount of parts you have to buy extra just to build a compliant rifle could make like, let's say it would be a $400 AR in a free state. It now costs you $650, $700. I mean, it's just not worth it.
Yeah.
At least not to me. I mean, I'm sure there's people out there saying, "Oh, it's totally worth it," but like I said, even the way it's set up, it's not even very comfortable. Even looking at it, you're like, Jesus, what is that? It's just no good.
Right.
Now, how do you do an AR where the magazine is? I don't want to say pinned, but
it is. It's technically bolted in place.
Interesting. So it can't be removed at all. So is it like one round at a time, or how does that work?
You would do it like if you have stripper clips. You'd have to pop it in and one round into the magazine like that.
But you can't do that with an AR, though, can you?
I have no idea.
You can. Joey Cuz has bought one, and there's this weird little thing like what you were saying. It's kind of like Pops's loader, but it's a kind of a stand one. It goes pushes them down in there. So it's kind of weird, but he was doing it on video and it was working. So I don't know.
I mean, for the prices that just to get a compliant AR, you're better off. And this is just my own opinion. It doesn't have to be anybody else's, but I think you're better off buying like an SKS or something of that sort. But and I have one and I love it, and I like the round better. It's not the prettiest rifle, and it's not necessarily the greatest rifle that's ever been invented, but it does what it needs to do.
They work well.
Yeah, they do. I like SKSs.
Yeah, nothing wrong with them at all. Triple C wanted to hear that again, so I had to do it for him.
Nice. Well, so what is coming new on everybody's channels? Nolan, what's on board for you?
Probably the AR9 build that I showed in Tuesday night's chat. I got it finished up, ready to go. I'm having a small issue with it, but we're still going to take it out to the range and hopefully shoot it this week sometime. But that's coming up. I do want to take out the MMPs, the 2.0s, and do a little bit of accuracy testing with them. I know some people were asking if they were any better accuracy-wise than the 1.0s, so we're going to go out and have some fun doing that. And I don't know. That's probably everything I can think of right now, just normal stuff, I guess.
Nice. Cool. Gentlemen?
What about you, 17?
What?
What do you have coming up?
I don't know. It depends when I get, other handguns that I'm supposed to be getting. So I'm going to be showing off the SKS in a video soon. I got a rail from Matador Arms, and I finally got a new bolt cover. So I was able to install it finally, and it's friggin' awesome. That's all I can say. So if you guys have an SKS, the biggest problem with them is the damn scopes. They tend to move. It's hard to maintain zero because there's not a base for it. A lot of times you put it on, the side of the actual bolt cover. You can screw it on there if you have one of those type of bolt covers. This thing attaches to the rear sight and to the rear bolt cover. So you're getting a nice stable base. And I haven't shot it obviously because it's like really cold out and I'd have to freeze, and I'm not doing that. But yeah, I'm looking forward to testing that out.
Hey, real quick, Nolan, go in and leave a comment because people are asking how to get to your channel real quick. So Nolan's going to leave a comment, and y'all can go in and actually tap his comment and go straight to his channel to sub him.
Yeah, I'll do that real quick.
Guys, I'll also I got this chat reminder out really late today because of work. So I will put a link to his channel as soon as this chat is done. So you'll also be able to find him after that.
Yeah. Let's see. what do I have coming up? Well, I just released a video today of the 930 with the Nordic +9 tube in it for the 3-gun. You know, really excited about the shotgun and that mess up in the video. And I want y'all to see the real me. I didn't, you know, go in and edit stuff. And, you know, I mean, hell, we all make mistakes, but it was me. I actually, when I went to pull the, you know, the chamber back, I actually hit the button at the same time. So I jacked it all up and it was my fault. So anyway, but got it clear, got it working. After that, I ended up shooting 75 rounds through that thing, and it ran flawless. So that first hiccup was all me. No, it ran great. So I'm going to cut that port out, the loading port, and got that. I've got some M&P triggers coming up, and I've got something on a Switzerland gun. So Switzerland pistol, I've got some goodies on that, and that's kind of what I've got coming up.
Nice, nice. So I've got the Security 9 coming up this weekend, as well as the P320 Apex trigger, which I've been very impressed with. The CZP01 Omega is coming up next weekend. And then I've got a couple things on a few of the X series firearms, the P320 X series. So just kind of comparing all three in that family. Some pretty cool guns there. So that's what's coming up right now. Hopefully that 365 will be coming up pretty soon. And the PC carbine, I've got that on order, but I think that's coming out in mid-February, if I'm not mistaken. So it's going to be a little while before that gets here. But that'll be the first long gun that I will have featured on the channel. So that's pretty cool. So
can you even shoot that in your indoor range, KS?
You can shoot anything in that range. You can shoot a 50 BMG. They've got automatic firearms. You just anything you can throw at it, they'll take. The only thing you can't shoot is buckshot out of a shotgun.
Yeah, I was gonna say I've been to KS's range, you know, and it's a freaking nice ass range. And plus, you forget KS is royalty there. He can do what the hell he wants.
He actually owns the range. That's something he doesn't tell you
probably
guys.
part owner.
I wish, boy. I'll tell you what, life would be a lot better if I owned that range. That is true.
No, it's a super. It's probably out of all the ranges I've been to, that is the nicest range I have ever been to. And you know, not to mention just the range, but like just the indoor area, you know, where you can look at guns and gun shop. I mean, that place is really nice.
Oh, thanks, man. Appreciate it. No, we got pretty lucky with that one for sure. So
yeah, it's a nice one.
Guys, any other questions out there from everybody in the crowd? I've been kind of scanning and seeing. I haven't seen.
Yeah, and Parasitic Generation, I guess he came in late and he was asking about the Security 9, and we all, nice. You know, KS said that, you know, he's really liking it. I've only put my hands on it so far. I think it's a nice gun, but I haven't personally shot it. So
yeah, if everybody doesn't know, Parasitic Generation got a strike on his channel, and this was when he released that Security 9 video, which is absolutely asinine. I'm not in favor of any gun channel getting a strike for any reason, but especially a nice guy like Parasitic Generation on a video that was completely harmless and just showing a really cool gun. I think that's just utter crap. So make sure you go and give him some love for sure. And that was a great video. And Parasitic, I hope you'll put another one up for sure. There was some good information in there. And it's been a good gun. It really has. You're exactly right. I followed your lead on that.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's definitely going to be a great seller. You know, they got a hell of a price point on that thing. We do have a question, Shockwave. Would anybody buy the Shockwave?
No.
What's the Shockwave?
The little 12 gauge, you know, the little.
The
firearm. I'm sorry, the firearm.
Gotcha.
Not the shotgun.
I'm not interested myself.
Yeah. Well, I actually did buy one. I don't know if y'all checked out my old videos. I actually bought one here in Texas and waited for it. Didn't hear from them, and finally I called them, and it's, you know, one of my Grab a Gun. They're local to me, and I said, I hadn't heard anything on my Shockwave, and they looked it up and they said, oh, you're in Texas, you can't have it yet. They were signing that Shockwave law, and that's actually what it's called, because in Texas we couldn't have it officially yet due to some shotgun laws, even though this was listed as a firearm. And so they canceled my order, gave me my money back, and then I just kind of thought about it more. And I was just like, nah, I'm not going to get it. And I have shot one, and I was just like, you know, shooting it, and I was like, kind of glad I didn't get it. But that's just my personal opinion. People who have it, I'm not knocking it. I just didn't find that it was for me. I'm glad that I ended up getting a 590A1, and I have got video on it, and I really like it. It's a great shotgun.
Nice. Not for me. Not my thing. I've held it a couple times, and it's cool. I mean, I can see the interest in it, but it's just not something for me.
Hey, Nolan, I got a question for you, buddy.
Yeah.
Between the compact and the full size of your M&Ps, the 5-inch, what do you like? Which one do you like better?
Oh man.
Tough question.
That's a tough question. I guess overall, I'll probably go with the compact just because I can do more with it.
Yeah.
But I don't know, the 5-inch model, if it's softer shooting, at least feeling to me, it's softer shooting, it stays flat. So it does shoot a little bit better. But I guess if I had to choose one, if they said, here, you can only have one, I'd go with the compact just because I can carry it. I can do more with it.
Yeah. Yeah. I saw the video of the full size, man. I think it didn't even look like it was the rising at all. It was
right.
Just straight on.
I was really surprised.
I've been surprised too, man. I really didn't think I was going to like the M&Ps, when they came out. And even I remember initially looking at it and saying, whatever. But I've been very, very pleasantly surprised with this gun. And I really think they did a great job. Even with the 4 1/4 inch, I think they did a nice job with it. The trigger shoe is desirable, obviously, for whoever likes it. I don't particularly care for it. But once that apex trigger went on, it was smooth sailing from there. And I mean, the gun, it shoots flat. It's a really flat shooting gun. It's really comfortable. I think they did a nice job with the ergos and everything. And I think they, unfortunately, they don't have the following necessarily like a Glock does.
Right.
But I'll tell you, man, pound for pound, I think it definitely puts up a good fight against Glock. They did a great job.
I completely agree.
Well, I have a quick question for Nolan. This is going to put you on the spot. You ready for this one?
I'm ready. Bring it.
If you had to pick one right now today, the way you have both of them set up, would you take your M&P 2.0 compact or would you take your Glock 19?
Honestly,
if you had to.
The 2.0.
Yeah.
I'm going 2.0.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
I like it that much.
I like how when you said that your internet broke up.
Glock just went after you,
buddy. Glock controls your internet.
Yeah, well, if it didn't come through, I'm going 2.0 for sure.
Wow.
The Glock 19's no slouch. I don't want people thinking that I'm Glock hating again, but 2.0. I'm going 2.0.
I agree.
I'm just saying with what you have, with what you have and what you know now. I mean, I'm just asking for an honest opinion because that's something that other people might want to know that are maybe new coming into guns. And I bring this up because, and I know this probably happens to y'all. I'll walk into a gun store. They don't know me from Adam. I just walk in and I don't start saying I know this and I know that. I just walk around, mind my own business. They're like, hey, you got a gun, and what are you looking for? And I'm just like, oh, I was just gonna check out the compacts. Oh, let me walk you over to the Glocks. It's just like, let me hold your hand and pull you to the Glocks. And I'm like, whoa, you don't know me. I was just curious if. Yeah,
I mean, I'm gonna second what he says, man. I mean, the ergos are better. I think it just shoots better overall. Although the 19 and the 17 are excellent shooting guns, and I love them. But there's just something about the M&P this time, man, that it sits right. It just sits real well. The only thing I don't like, and I don't know Nolan or KS, I know you had this as well, but on the 4 1/4, the only thing I don't like is the back strap. It feels like it's not sized properly. You get a little play on the back strap at all?
No, I don't remember getting any.
No,
that's weird. It just seems like it's not tight enough to the actual grip.
Huh.
No, mine aren't that way. Now, with that being said, I was reading online somewhere, and I did see some people complaining that you could push it forward and had a little play. So I guess it's not uncommon, but mine aren't that way.
That's interesting.
Cool.
Yeah, I would probably throw the monkey wrench in it. I like them both very much, and the 2.0C has definitely impressed me, as has the P10C. And I would say that those are kind of my three top compact guns at this point. But I would say the Glock 19. That is large, right? And that is largely because of trigger time, and that is a bias because of comfort level behind the trigger. Now, as I spend more time with the 2.0C, that may very well change, and I certainly leave the door open to change. I'm not that much of a Glock fan, or as much as I was years ago, but just because of that trigger bias, I'm used to it, and it shoots well for me. It's probably the best shooting gun out of my hands.
Yeah, well, we're actually getting a little flack. We haven't done a gun check, so everybody want to do a gun check?
Yeah, we'll have to finish it off with that then.
Okay. Hell yeah.
my life choices. Sorry, man.
Yeah. P09 and the Mid-Atlantic holster 21 and 1. So that's what I'm carrying. Just took it off. Matter of fact, been on all day.
I've been carrying my Glock 19 past couple of days because I got this holster for it, so I was just testing it out. So Glock 19.
No, I can't reach mine. It's over here, but it is the 2.0 compact in my Harry's holster, Insider holster. I keep it with me all the time.
Nice, nice. Laptop, unfortunately, again, can't carry it at work. It's that is an impossibility, unfortunately.
So I know you have something in front of you. You had the one there. What's the other one? Did you just have the one gun out?
Oh, me? No, actually, I've got a smattering of guns. I was kind of playing around with a few things. I was thinking about the 365, so actually the PPS and 2 out. And then I've got the X-Carry and the X5 out right now. I was kind of comparing, contrasting those a little bit. Those have been a lot of fun.
All right. So,
sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, I think it's time to call it.
Yeah, no, it's about that time. Dave Ports, I wish we could. Sadly, as a lot of you guys know, I'm a very, very early riser. I'm usually at work by 6 o'clock Central Standard Time in the morning, and I hear we're going to actually get an ice storm. So I may even have to make it in a little bit earlier to beat that ice storm. So it's going to be a very early evening for me. But so a couple of things I want to give you guys an opportunity to say your stuff. But once again, Nolan, it is always a pleasure to have you on here. We have so much fun with you, and everybody else in the crowd has fun with you as well. So guys, what do you have to say? And then we'll wrap this up.
Go ahead, Nolan.
I just got all my standard stuff coming up. If you want to come check it out, see if you like it. If you do, subscribe. If not, I guess keep going. But hey, thanks for having me on. It's always a pleasure to be here, and just thank you guys very much. A lot of fun.
Thank you, whoever turned their volume off.
Yeah,
Nolan, your voice sounded like the voice of God just now. Just so you know,
it was coming through that way too. That's why I was kind of hesitating. I was like, I couldn't even understand myself.
Voice of God.
I didn't know what was going on. I couldn't even hear myself talking. I didn't know what I was saying.
All right, let's get KS in here or Big J. You want to talk or what?
Sure. Yeah, I appreciate all y'all being on. Appreciate Nolan. And if you haven't subscribed to Nolan, please do. He does chats also. And he'll post when he's doing them. I know he does a Saturday night chat. Now, do you do a Tuesday night chat?
Normally.
Or is it Thursday?
Tuesday.
Yeah, Tuesday and Saturday. So please, or Friday. No, God, now I got all confused. But anyway, check him out. He does a great job, does great videos, and we appreciate him being on. And then, I guess I do need to say one thing. I'm catching, and please check out Harry's holsters. He does great holsters. He just doesn't make one for a P09 yet, but he will. So, but I appreciate everyone being on. I appreciate all these guys. They all do a great job.
Same as the other guys. Nolan, thanks, man, for joining us tonight. We appreciate it. It's always fun to have you. So you're always welcome. And thanks for watching, everybody. Thanks for stopping by on a Wednesday night, hump day, everybody's favorite day. And we enjoy having it. We enjoy having our chats and just talking stuff. Thanks.
Yeah, absolutely. Everybody, thank you very much for joining us as always. And we will definitely catch you on the flip side. And hopefully we will see you on Saturday night on Nolan's channel. So everybody, shoot straight and have a lot of fun. We'll see you next time.
See you guys.
Thanks, guys.
Have a great night.
You too.